for you students. 4 main strategies, okay? I'm going to see who remembers all 4 by the end of the session. And these are going to be very interesting. For most people, they think, okay, what is environmental destruction? Just pollution, we see plastic, we see there's a lot of paper, factories. It's not just that. There's so many different ways climate change happens. Okay, I'm going to start with this. You see something called livestock farming. Now, non-veg software people, please raise your hands.
Yeah, non-veg.
Wow, I see the hands go so fast. Amazing. Wonderful. Okay, a lot of people. It's completely okay. Non-veg software. Why did I ask you that question? Did you actually know that your food and diet habits also affect climate change? It's not just pollution in the streets or pollution on land and water. It starts from us, from our food. The thing about livestock farming is meat. So Harpreet explained something called greenhouse gases. And one example of it is methane and carbon dioxide. In the meat industry, nariya gases produced from it, all of these greenhouse gases. And you might think, okay, whose fault is it? We have factories that are causing this pollution, right? But who is creating the demand for this? If we as humans do not want the product, then there will be no factory to produce it. So we must understand, this is our responsibility too. We cannot blame the factories that have a lot of pollution. We cannot blame the big companies. It is each and every one of us and our lifestyles. So now I'm not telling you to not eat non-veg. You can enjoy your chicken biryani if you like that. But what do we learn from this? Changing our diet, our food habits can also help the environment. Taking plant-based food or just not non-vegetarian food on a daily basis can help make a difference. So, is it Padaporima?
Can we have more energy, please?
I heard only a few yeses. Okay, wonderful.
Wonderful. Does everyone understand how livestock farming is negative for the environment?
This doesn't mean ban biryani, okay? We love it too.
Let's move to the next slide. Now, our second cause of climate change is deforestation. Now, this is a very important word. Deforestation relates to the clearing of trees, the cutting down of trees for industrial purposes, such as for construction and many other purposes. Now, with deforestation, something that's really important are trees. Now, trees are known as carbon sinks. Does anyone know why trees are important? We have this word called carbon sinks.
Now, yedukkaga trees plant panano. We want some answers for this. Oh, okay. Now remember what I said. You can say the answer there. Anna, front vandu, Michael Pichi, Pesino.
It's about coming on stage.
I want at least 2 volunteers from this side.
Yes, please come up. Please come up.
Hello, please encourage your parents. Wonderful. And from this side, I want 2 volunteers. At least 2 volunteers.
Please come up.
Guys, we have a lot of badges. Okay, many badges in this, so don't worry, we won't run out. Please come. Now, why do we plant trees? See, many of you said oxygen. There's actually a very interesting answer behind this. But yes.
Yes, why do we plant trees?
Sorry, first of all, I am fear. That's completely okay. Actually, can we please have a huge round of applause? Because though she does have a little bit of nervousness, she came up to the stage, right? See, that's the first step to being a confident speaker, taking that initiative. We are here to help you, so don't worry. Please go ahead.
Okay, fine. First of all, நம்ம எதுக்கு வந்து பிளான்ட் இது பண்றோம்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்ம வந்து பீப்பிள்ஸ் வந்துட்டு ஆக்சிஜன் வந்து இப்ப வந்து அந்த அளவுக்கு வந்து நம்ம இயற்கையை சுவாசிக்கிறது கிடையாது பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் பொல்யூஷன்ஸ் லைக் வெஹிக்கல்ஸ் அது மாதிரி வரதுனால ஸோ இப்போ பிளான்ட் ட்ரீஸ் பண்ணோம்னா நம்மளுக்கு வந்துட்டு அந்த அதாவது நேச்சுரல் ப்ரீத்ஸ் பண்ணலாம் ஸோ இட்ஸ் ஃபுல் ஈஸி டு பிளான்ட் ட்ரீஸ் அண்ட் இட் இஸ் ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல் ஃபார் ஆல் த coming category of generations too.
Everyone, please, huge round of applause for that wonderful answer. You did an amazing job, okay? So, see, you took the initiative to come and give your answer even if you were unsure. This is the confidence that we want to see from all of you. Wonderful, okay? And yes, please on.
Please, go ahead.
இவ்வளோ பொல்யூஷன் ஆகுது. நம்ம வந்து போகிற ஜென்ரேஷனில் நமக்கு அது சுவாசி ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக இருக்கும். அதனால மற்றவே நம்ம வந்து வளர்க்கணும். ப்ரீசிங்காக நம்ம வாழணும். அது
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the round of applause.
So many of the students mentioned that we plant trees so that we can breathe healthy air, fresh air, and that it's important for the climate. But what is this term? Carbon sinks na enadhu?
Now, a lot of the volunteers, they mentioned that trees release oxygen and it would be helpful for humans and anyone living on Earth to breathe. But trees are also called carbon sinks. What is the meaning of carbon sinks? That is, trees absorb carbon dioxide and they release oxygen. Now, when trees absorb this carbon dioxide, they store it in them for about 200 or 300 years. Now, this is why deforestation becomes a big issue. Because when you start clearing the trees, when you cut down the trees, the carbon dioxide that was stored in the trunks is now released into the atmosphere, which again causes pollution and thereby causes climate change. From the statistics here, we know that almost 2.47 million trees are cut down daily.
So put into that, trees or a sponge madri, they absorb carbon dioxide, other greenhouse gas. So without trees, if we cut them down, where will the carbon dioxide gas go? That is how the temperature is rising. That is how we are leading to global warming. So why is it so important to plant trees? Not only does it give oxygen, what does it do? It absorbs carbon dioxide.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, how many of you plant trees in this room?
How many of you plant trees in your home?
In your home, in your
Environment?
institution,
Okay,
school?
I see a lot of hands up from the back, especially. A huge round of applause for all
Round
of
of
these
applause for
students.
everyone.
Good job. Alright, amazing. See, for this, everyone's raising their hands if it's not any other question. Wonderful though. And we appreciate that. See, you guys are the leaders for the next generation. You need to take initiative. For example, நீங்க காலேஜ்ல கூட ஒரு small tree plantation event start பண்ணலாம். You can take the initiative to inspire your college students first. அதுக்கப்புறம் you will be making an impact in your city. Work with students in the city, work with other colleges. See if you can do mass tree plantations. Once you make an impact in your city, you can make an impact in your state, then your country, and then the world. So do you understand how this goes? Many of you will think, okay, I'm just one person. What am I going to do? It's not going to make any difference. But you as one person can start a chain reaction. When you make an impact, 2 more people will make an impact. Because of those 2 people, 10 more people will make an impact. Okay? So we want you to take leadership. We want you to start initiatives. Starting with things like tree plantations, environmental awareness. எவ்வளவு பேர் social media use பண்ணுங்க?
How many of you use social media? Just raise your hand.
Okay, most of us, right? How can we use social media? See, as the youth, your voice has the power to go global. How can we use social media in the right way? Use social media to create awareness on issues like environmental destruction and climate change. Create your own content to educate other students, other viewers. This is how you can make a change in your community. Idu panna poringa? I got a few yeses from the front, so the people in the back.
Can we have more energy? Yes.
Okay, I see you're more confident, yes. Amazing, because we want you to take this initiative. So Harpit and I, we are the youth ambassadors of Exnora International. And Exnora International is a very reputed environmental organization, many of you will know. And with Exnora International, we have been doing a lot of mass tree plantations, a lot of environmental events. So neenga kuda volunteers are join pannalam. And we encourage you to join as volunteers because you can be a part of this big community that is working to serve the environment. So kandipa adu definitely pannalam. Okay?
Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Next slide.
Okay, transportation. I have some few questions first. எவ்வளவு பேர் வந்து bus use பண்றீங்க to commute back and forth to
How many
college?
of you use bus? Can you raise your hand?
Yes. Confident I can do. This isn't an exam question. It's just a demo question. Amazing. So a lot of you.
Amazing, that's good. How many of you use a car?
A car.
Car.
Okay. A few hands up.
Few.
எவ்வளவு பேர் bike use பண்றீங்க? Bike, scooty.
Scooty.
A lot of hands up.
Okay.
Alright.
How many of you use a bicycle? Not
Bicycle,
a motorbike,
not a bike.
a
I
bicycle.
see a few hands up. Good.
That's good.
And how many of you walk to college?
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
I see a lot of
hands
people.
up.
Nice.
Now, huge round of applause first. Why are we talking about transportation? As one of our own students had mentioned, vehicles cause a lot of pollution. They emit greenhouse gases. And in a country like India with such a high population, there is so much pollution that is being emitted by these vehicles. So how can we commute more responsibly? It's important to, if you are 5 minutes away from somewhere, please don't use a car, even a bike. Try to use something like a bicycle or try to walk, because that is what benefits the environment more. So will you all be trying to use more efficient transportation?
Can we have your hands up?
Hands up if you will.
Who's going to use more efficient transportation? Please
I
raise your hand.
see a lot of hands up from that side. Yes, okay. Everyone please type that in there. For everyone who's participating actively, right? And the thing is, we're not asking you to walk like 10 kilometers and all. Please don't do that. But be mindful. See, the first step to making change is being an environment conscious. You have to be mindful of everything that you do. Whatever you do, ask yourself, will this be good for the environment or will this hurt the environment? And then do any action that you might want to do. That is the first step to self-awareness. Only when you have self-awareness, you can create awareness in your community. Okay, wonderful. And you see, notice how the transportation industry alone causes most of the emissions of greenhouse gases. And this leads to climate change. Yes, can we go to the next slide? Good, I think I can pass it. Okay, our last main point here.
Our last main point is something called consumerism. Consumerism na yenadu. It refers to how many products you buy or you purchase in a year or in a week or even in a day. How many of you use plastic bottles here? Yareல்லாம் plastic bottles use pannringa? Okay, we have a lot of hands up. But the thing is that plastic bottles pose negative consequences to the environment. The thing is that plastic bottles are not biodegradable. That's what makes them so dangerous. For example, if you dispose a plastic bottle or if you throw anything that's made out of plastic by accident into the soil, it does not biodegrade, which means it does not decompose. It takes about 2,000 years for a single plastic bottle to decompose in the soil or in the environment, and this can pose harmful consequences. Now, when you dispose plastic bottles in places like landfills, it releases something called methane gas. Methane gas is also a greenhouse gas that contributes to climate change. Now, in the landfill, what do you think they do in the landfill for any unused materials? How do they remove these materials? Can we have any volunteers? How do they remove the materials from the landfill?
How do we get rid of these materials? What do? They burn all of these waste materials. What happens in this process? We are directly releasing all of the greenhouse gases, all of the chemicals into the atmosphere directly. And this is causing a lot of environmental destruction. So what is consumerism? We as humans, we buy so many things, but how many things do we use? How many products do we actually use? If you look in your house, or even if you look in your bag, you might find one or two things that you might not even use, right? Some of us, we have 20 pens. Why do we have 20 pens when one or two is enough? Consumerism is the act of buying too many things. And when each one of us do it, we are polluting or negatively affecting the environment. So this is our last main aspect of climate change. We have to reduce the products that we buy and learn to recycle or reuse them. How many of you have a habit of recycling things? I see one hand up at the end of the auditorium. Can I have a huge round of applause and 2 hands up here? And then please guys at me now. I see more now. Okay, wonderful. I think I have to say clap and then I see some hands going up. But the importance of reusing things has to be stressed upon. You all have notebooks, right? We all use notebooks for students. Even we are students too. Simple things such as reusing a notebook. If you have 20 pages of the notebook remaining, don't just throw it and use a new one for the next year. See what you can do with those remaining pages. It's the idea and your creativity that is going to help combat issues like consumerism. So the next time you see things, ask yourself, idu eppadi reuse pannalam? Idu eppadi recycle pannalam? How many of you like art or like to make products?
Please raise your hand.
A lot of you, right?
Like art.
So, நிறைய பேருக்கு ஆர்ட்ல ரொம்ப இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருக்குது. You know, with art, you can actually recycle so many products and make DIY crafts, DIY materials. It's not something that you do for fun only. It is a skill that is required, and the creativity skill is. So, to be an environmentally responsible leader, you need what skills? First of all, you need communication, you need confidence, and you need creativity. So, you have to think of innovative ways on how to do this.
Now, when I asked the question about how many of you use a plastic bottle, many of you raised your hands. But the thing is that using plastic bottles is negative for the environment. But instead of just disposing the plastic bottle or throwing it away, you can recycle them or upcycle them. You can turn the plastic bottles into something like a pen stand. Use your creativity to make an object out of the plastic bottle rather than using it for drinking water. This is a strategy you can use.
Now a chicken story, Solomon. We were once at a restaurant, right, to eat dinner. We were with our Exnora team actually. So they had a few cups. They were bringing us water. And the cups they were made out of plastic, so plastic cups in the gym. And usually what do we do in a restaurant? They'll serve the cup, we'll drink the water, we'll go outside, right? Do you know what happened then? Our Exnora team, we refused to take the cups. We said no. We don't want plastic cups. Please give us a metal cup. And we told the manager to make sure that no plastic cups are served in this restaurant. And you see, this little thing that we did will bring so much change. Because what will most people do? They'll come, they'll eat, they'll leave. And what does a leader do? If you want to make change, you have to take that first initiative. So we told them to stop using plastic cups. So that was almost 2 years ago. Imagine how many plastic cups we have avoided since then, just in that one place. So just like this, think about what you can do in your community, wherever you go. If you see your friends using products, if you see your family or anyone, try to educate them. You have to tell them that this is not good for the environment. You have to tell them that we have to be environmentally conscious. Yes, okay. So for this, don't go to every restaurant and say don't use plastic cups. Just an example. But it shows your initiative and your power even as students. So now you can okay, I'm just a student, what can I do? That's not right. Because young people have so much power that they have to use. Alright, so I think we've covered our main points. Now, how exactly can we save or combat climate
Next slide.
change? Alright, we like to say this. Change yourself before the climate changes. Can you all read that out? Change yourself before the climate changes. Okay, now read it once more, but mean it as you read it. Okay? Change yourself before the climate changes. So this is important. We want to see all of you taking initiative before we reach environmental destruction. So what is this?
Now we have a set of 4 strategies that all of you can use. Change your neighborhood. Can everyone repeat this?
Change your neighborhood. As a student leader, look around your neighborhood, where you live, your house or apartment or wherever you are, even in your college. See how you can make a change in the environment. Can I plant more trees? Can I organize a cleanup? You guys have heard of beach cleanups, right? There's so much plastic pollution on our beaches here in India. Try to organize your own events as leaders, alright? And the initiative, that's the insight and that spark to take initiative. Okay.
Let's move on to the next slide. Next one.
What is the third strategy? Change your energy.
When we talk about change your energy, as we mentioned, we have to use efficient modes of transportation. If you're traveling to a place that is 5 minutes away and your destination is 5